Yeah, what up, guys? This is Ethan with NERDacious and Subliminal Comics. I'm coming to you again with another Mark McMorris Infinite Air edit. Last edit, I showed you guys how to really landscape before and pre-plan how to create multiple runs into a park. Today, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth into the runs. As you can see, we're entering the section where I use the natural windlip. Um, why I wanted to use a natural windlip is because I have a lot of man-made features, so I want some side runs that are all natural mountain runs. Now this is where we edited before, and you can see I added little signs and little just obstacles, just let a person know where to be left of or right of or whatever that is. You guys can do that yourself or not. Um, but there you go. You can see how it had all of its natural flow all the way through, and that's going to be the entrance of another run. Now, before I get into that, I want to show you guys this as well. We talked about this again yesterday. I'm going to create a lip right here, and I'm actually going to do one right here as well, and I'm going to make this a very tight run, more rails and that kind of stuff, very technical. And then I'm going to play off of down here. I'm not going to do that video today, but just showing you guys what I'm doing with the options that I have. I'm going to go into right where you land off the windlip right here. After you leave the jump and go off the windlip, I'm going to specialize a little bit into this run because this run is going to play into where you leave this windlip. So, before we get into that, we're just going to go down here where we have more of the man-made features into the park. We're going to go into World Editor, and what I'm going to do is I put this feature right here, but I'm just going to take it off to the side because it's really in my way. Alright. I still want to use it, but for now we're going to keep it off to the side. Now, this plays right into this feature right here. So, I have two options. I can either delete this, which I'll show you what it looks like deleted. It's actually really not that bad. My only question is yeah, it makes it really hard to enter over here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this and just widen it. Just so it makes it easier to enter that area right there. Again, do you see how I widen that? And that's just right on the D-pad. I'm just hitting right on the D-pad. That just widens it. You can see there's a little bit of a force gap right there. So we're going to go and select the red dot, and we're just going to lower it just a little bit. And I'm actually going to extend it just a little bit as well. Go a little bit lower. Okay. And the other problem is this green dot right here. That really controls the pitch, and you can see that, how much it's just affecting the difference of, I'm going to add a little bit more snow so you have some cushion in entering this area, because be mindful, you're coming off some rails right here, so you don't want it to be too choppy. Now, I'm going, nope, shorten it. And you know what? I think we're going to have to go to another red dot. Yep. Lower it a little bit. Yep. Go to the other red dot. Actually, I'm going to extend this just a teeny bit for the sole sake of, yeah. See how it just kind of is more copacetic with the landing of the jump. If I leave it more shorter, it just kind of, you're kind of dipping a little bit. So I'm going to extend it a little bit farther, try to make sure that it's in line. You can see I got a little cockeyed with the one green dot, which is really going to be fun to find. Okay. And you want to try to keep these in line unless you see more of a problem. Unless you see more of a problem like with creases in the snow. Like if I went, here I'm going to actually just place this real quick, and then if I went and did one of these green dots, you can see how it wants to just make little creases in the snow. So I'm not going to place anything. I'm going to hit triangle. And yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty steady entrance to that area. And now we can start playing with over here. Now, my original thought was that I wanted to have a jump that lets you jump into this and lets you kind of play around back and forth throughout this little alleyway. I'm going to see how much flow we have into that, because that may not be a thing. So we're going to go back. And I had pretty good flow into this whole entire thing, so I'm going to start back a little bit. Yeah, we'll start here.
Good luck,
We're on momentum. Again, I need to create another little feature, because I had the off turn right there. That shouldn't be a thing. I don't know. I could get some speed through here. I think I could. So what I want to try is this is kind of a cool little entrance right here. You hit, you land. You don't want it to be too quickly. So I'm going to just take my selection tool. Actually, you know what? No. We're just going to place an object. Actually, we're going to create a ramp and an object. So, don't want to be popping all around. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to delete this run-in ramp. This is a tight area, not needed, and I usually don't use a run-in. I usually delete it just so that it more stays setting with the options that were given. I don't know, that just may be a little too close. But you're going to have to do it after this. Well, that's just what's going to have to happen. Okay. So, there you go. Now I'm just going to place the ramp just so that I can see my trajectory. I had a good amount of speed landing in there. Okay, now I'm going to use that as a marker. Why I'm using that as a marker is I'm going to actually go and hit this rail before and see if it... Oof. Go and see if it's the same trajectory. Oh man, you gotta hit the rail, kid. I'm talking to myself, not the guy. Okay, so about the same entrance. You can see right here, both of my marks. Okay, so that's about the same. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm only going to place one rail here. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We haven't really added many McMorris rails, so let's make a fun one. I know how we're gonna do this. So I'm using pretty much the line to tell me where to put the actual rail itself. Now you can see that could be a little high because he could clip on it. On the other side of the hill, yeah, it looks like he could clip on it. So I'm going to bring it down just a teeny bit, and you can see where he's coming down. So I'm actually going to use that to my factor of, okay, where will the game find him to come down? So I'm going to put it about, it's a little high. It's a little high. So actually, and I know I'm crazy, and I'm sorry for wasting your time, but no, we're gonna keep this speed. I'm sorry. I'm just crazy. So, I'm just gonna place this rail right here, and then I'm just, yeah, should be about right there. And then I'm going to place another rail. What I'm going to do with this one is I am going to cockeye it. So it's like a little lip right at the end. And I'm seeing if my angle's about right. It actually looks pretty much flush right there. Yeah, that's pretty much flush. Now here's a little trick on doing rails. Okay, so I want it to get close. Now that's closer than it usually gets. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Now, in about the middle of your screen, you can see where the rails connect. And that is closer than most times that happens. The more that you zoom in, the more fine that your touch gets. As you can see, I didn't move much there. I just moved it, and it didn't move enough. Okay, that's about right. Now, here's the fine little tool. Instead of playing with how high you have it back and forth, if you just move the rail back and forth, it's just going to blend right together. And you have to be mindful of your gap on the second rail, which that looks about right. Now, I hope that this is enough, and if it's not, then essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the jump to a small ramp so it kicks you a little bit more. But I want to avoid that. I have to jump to hit the rail. No, that works pretty well. It works pretty well. So, just for my own sanity's sake, I'm going to put it a little bit more left. And the rail a little bit more left. I know the pretty much trajectory just from the last ramp. So I'm just going to bring that a little bit more left. And that's about where he was. Yep, place it. I'm not changing any angles. I'm not doing anything like that with the pitch of the rail. I'm just changing the direction of it a little bit. I'm going to go back. Look this way. That's pretty good. I like using these rails, and the reason being is because it helps you get good at hitting easier rails to hit. You really have to hit it in the right spot on your board. And that's really not. Again, I know it sucks, but sometimes you have to come through and over at it. I'm just lifting this just a little bit, brought it back just so that it would change the pitch a little bit. As the way he's jumping, you can see he was jumping a little flat. So I brought the jump back just so he has more space, and boom. It's that easy. Okay, so now we have a little ramp to throw in here. I think what I'm going to do is make this pretty easy. I'm just going to take a small hip. And why I'm taking a small hip, so that it just launches me more up there and gives me more play to use this outside over here. So he lands in here, he's using this, but now I can start to try to use this. Now this tree's probably going to be a factor, so I'm just going to delete it, get it out of here, and boom. I'm also going to clear this tree as well. You can replace the tree, guys, it's not that hard. Take my jump with no run-in, and I'm literally just going to take it kind of into the side of the mountain, make sure my back end is flush. I'm going to give an option so you can go around it, and I'm also going to give an option to hit it. So we'll see how this works out. We'll go over this one more time just to make sure it works. And it does. I think we need to bring it a little bit more close. Selection tool. Bring up. Again, I want there to be an option out there. I'm making sure everything's flush enough. I'm just trying to give a little option. I'm going to build rocks and that kind of stuff just so the ambiance of it's a little bit better.
Good luck, brother.
No, I don't think I can get enough speed to get in there. It's just going to have to leave me right out there. Or what I can also do is create a little run-in. So I'm going to use right about here. How's that going to kick? No, not enough of a kick. So right there. Then I'm just going to sculpt the snow. Always, 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 always shoot great, guys. And when you are choosing your snow, which I am making my own run-in here, I am making it so that it is not affecting this as much. Do you see how that there's a line and that's in the way? No, that won't work. So I got to restart. So starting behind the ramp. Yep, still in the way. A little bit more left. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Let me make it a teeny bit wider. No. We're not going to take that. The reason why is because the way that it left me in the snow. So I'm going to bring that up. Oh, already messed up. Bring this up just a little bit. So then it isn't as pitched. You can see it's not pulling the snow down as much. I'm going to, let's see how that looks. Is that enough room? Yeah, that's enough room. I would say that's enough room. Going to add another point just so it's a little bit easier to get in. Again, I'm just kind of fine tuning it. Look at that. Now it's not so intimidating to come into. It's a little bit easier. You have more of an entrance. I'm just going to do it just one more time just for my sanity's sake. Boom. And that looks pretty flush. It goes powder right into there. See how the room looks? Yeah. Extend it just a teeny bit. Okay. And why I'd like to add points too is because it also lets me use this little diagram. The more points you have, the more spaces you have to bring it up, bring it down, which you can see. It's actually a little off right here. So I'm going to take this. Boom. Actually, there you go. Now it's more in line. Okay. So we're going to see how this works now. So actually now we have another reason to have a rail going this direction, because it's going to let us set up for that next feature. Instead of having to go out of the way as much, you can see hitting that wrong doesn't help. So I have to angle the jump a little bit just so that so people know, oh, I gotta go left here. Okay, and that is better. But I need a little bit more. So, geez. So, go back to World Editor, Selection Tool, and I'm just going to bring it in a little bit. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. Just so people know, I gotta go the hell left here. Look at that. See how that hits. Fine. Okay, so if you go straight, you can still land in there. I just wanted to make sure that you can do that. Not close enough. You can see where he left. That should be about good. I think that should be about good. I hope it is, because I'm ready for us to get to the next section. Yep. You can see right where he landed into, and I even actually did a right spin into that just to see how it would kick me. It didn't kick me terrible. I'm going into this one with a little bit less speed, and yeah, that works great. So now I can kind of use this area too. Alright, cool. So, just one more thing before we go off in. So, as I said, we're going to go off to the left right here of the rock, and then we also have this section right here, which we were editing yesterday. So, essentially, what's going to happen is we're going to back up just a little bit. We're going to re-enter. Okay. So restarting from the natural flow of the park. As you can see, I got a little bit of speed right here. You know what? I actually need to put a little point right there, just so you know where to leave. We can go right, but let's give a reason to go left. And then to do that, I'm going to create a little jump. I'm going to go all the way to the right. I'm going to select a small jump, get rid of that entrance ramp. Boom. Okay, cool. So, and why I want to do that is because we have a little bit of a lip right here, so we might as well try to use that, not trying to grab a whole bunch of air because I want to have a rail to the left, and I want to just create a decent amount of speed. So, boom. I'm going to put that right there, and I'm going to clear these trees. Boom, boom, gone. Okay, you can see that it puts me right in about there. We're going to clear these as well. Okay, then you want to stay left of this tree, and then we still have our little alleyway through here, which, as I was saying before, that little run that we're going to run through, look at what now connects. It's going to connect down, and boom, right into here, which will create different paths into 3 different areas. Okay? So, I'm going to put back. I'm just going to leave from the exit of the jump.
Surf's up. Enjoy.
And about the same place. Oh, that's why you try to re-edit. Boom, boom. I'm just going to angle it down. I want it to kind of kick you up a little bit more. And actually, the other thing I'm going to do is when I was rolling in, it doesn't have enough style to it. So I'm going to angle it a little bit more to the left. Yeah. Alright. See how that kicks you. Nope. A little too much to the right. Okay, so... I do like that jump. I think the tree has to go. We can put another tree down. It's just a tree. Fake tree. I do not mean that in the wrong ways. So, please, I like my trees in all forms. Alright, and as you can see, we can just use a little bit of that wind lip as a landing. That creates another entry point. There's one more thing I'm going to do right here. I'm going to actually place another ramp just that exact size as I did on the last one. Ramps. Why I'm doing that is just to keep the natural flow. That way you're not trying to find it. And in certain features I do leave it that way, but that's just because it keeps it easier. For everybody. I don't want to do that all the time. I want it to be a little bit different. So I want to leave this a little bit more left just so that that jump has a little bit more angle to it and it kind of looks pitiful. So I'm just going to selection, boom. I'm just going to bring it back a little and kind of take it out just so you kind of want to stay in this area. Okay. So I don't want it to pop a lot, so I'm going to bring down the pitch a little bit more than the other jump, make sure that it's down in there good enough. Alright, so
Alright, good luck out there.
check this jump. Oh yeah, you're definitely finding that, which I just tried a little corkscrew like an idiot. Hit it one more time. Yep. I actually like that even better. Which, you know what? We can actually make another run out into this. So what I'm going to do, just to remind myself, clear objects. I'm just going to clear these trees. Oh yeah, I wanted to jump into that. But we're not going to do that today in this video. I'm going to graduate on this spot and not too long here. We're going to go back, just check the rail. Place objects. And I'm going to do medium. Let's go long. Let's make it a little difficult for some people. So you can see pretty much where the trajectory is. Now I'm going to go to the other side of the hill just so it's not as an askew look on one side. You can see I'm putting it in line with about the way that my body was going. Boom, put that up. I think I'm just going to extend it just a little bit. Put it up just so that there's a little bit more room. Does that look ridiculous? No, I don't think that looks too ridiculous.
Yeah, buddy, go get it.
Boom. And now I can just start going into here. Boom, another spot. Maybe I put a little jump right there. Hold on, let's see. No, we aren't going to do a ramp and a rail. We'll just do a ramp. Regular size, boom. Selection tool. Get rid of the entrance ramp. You can see right here that's rambling up. Okay, I want you to know you need to go through about that way. Angle it a little bit more just so you get a little bit of kick. And I think we're about good here. So, try it out. Check out, make sure the rail works well. Look at that. So guys, literally, it's been 30 minutes. I did it in 30 minutes just to see how long it takes. Okay, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically, we can call it 5 if I want to add a route, and then 6, which gives me 2 different landings right there. 6 different features in 30 minutes. So that took me 5 minutes each feature. That is not that hard. It is not that hard. We even had problems down in here, which for soul's sake, just while I'm talking, I'm just going to set it up. You know, we set this up 5 minutes in each one. It is not that hard to build a whole entire park. Does it take a little bit of time? Yeah, I would say so. It definitely takes a little bit of time, but it's really not that hard of work. Now, I'm using this right here, boom, just for a mind reference of, okay, this is the angle that it needs to be. Backing up real quick. Hold on, Sailor Jerry, we're going for a ride. Come on, come on, come on. Again, guys, I know this is going to work. So I'm just going to exit while I'm going through this. My name's Ethan. I'm from NERDacious and Subliminal Comics. Please subscribe, please like, please tell me your friends, please tell me your thoughts. Play my parks, guys. Play my parks. NERDacious Oakley session part 1. That's what's out right now. Now this won't be in it. Stay tuned. It will be in part 2. But we're going to wrap that up in videos before we release. Have a good one, guys. I'm from NERDacious. I'm subbing out.